Woke. This word has received so much attention in recent years. So, what does woke mean? Some say that it simply means being aware of social injustice, but it is generally understood to mean something much more specific. When the anti-woke criticise wokeness, they're usually referring to critical social justice approaches to race, gender, and identity. The woke believe that every aspect of society is shaped by invisible systems of power which include white supremacy, patriarchy, and transphobia. The only way to social justice, they say, is to get other people to believe in these systems and commit to dismantling them. They make us pretend to be racist or assert our sexism to detoxify masculinity. What's the problem with wokeness? Wokeness is more than just an irritant. It's now widely seen as socially prestigious. Many supporters are embracing authoritarian methods. They're forcing employees and students to undergo training in their belief system and affirm it. They're intolerant of people who oppose bigotry but who hold different views on how to fight it. Counterweight was founded to help people who oppose prejudice but reject critical social justice or want to protect viewpoint diversity in their organisations. In a way, Counterweight is anti-woke. We are liberal humanists. We see critical social justice as an unsuitable tool for opposing bigotry. We live in a multicultural society with different worldviews where individuals can use their own judgment to accept or reject ideas. We actively oppose the ideology behind wokeness and its imposition on others. Are we anti-woke or pro-liberal? In many ways, anti-woke is a good concept. It means opposing an ideology, not social justice itself. But seeing yourself as only against something can trap you in a tribal mindset. You risk losing sight of the positive things you stand for, the principles that made you reject what you stood against in the first place. It is easy to overlook illiberal behaviour from your own side, or miss valid points your opponents may have, and that will make you less credible among reasonable and fair-minded people who do care about social justice. Think about how removed CSJ-style anti-racism is from positive visions of equal worth, rights, freedoms and opportunities of all individuals, regardless of their race. By focusing on a purely oppositional approach, the concept has been widely allowed to creep away from racial equality and towards ideological tribalism and even racial prejudice. Many anti-racist activists have even used racial slurs like house Negro to describe black and ethnic minority people who reject their positions. On the other hand, the liberal principle of pro-racial equality allows for a much more consistent opposition to racism. Once someone begins evaluating others' worth, rights or freedoms on the basis of their race, they are identified as illiberal. What does this mean for engaging with other anti-woke people? Taking a pro-liberal view helps you avoid falling into the trap of seeing the enemy of your enemy as your friend. Let's take an extreme example. Both radical feminists and the Taliban reject CSJ approaches to queerness, but they would never mistake each other for allies. The worlds they want to create for women are diametrically opposed. Anti-woke communities are diverse. Some anti-woke people only want to replace wokeness with their own illiberal ideology. This isn't always easy to spot if you're only focused on opposition. This doesn't mean that liberals should never ally with people from different value systems. We might think that socialists have a point when they draw attention to class issues, or that the social sciences could benefit from a better balance by including more conservative voices. We still can do this while holding on to the liberal principles of viewpoint diversity. To be clear, this is not a purity test. This is not about urging everyone to do anti-wokeness in the same way, but we should remember our positive goal. A liberal society where everyone is treated as an individual, can have a variety of viewpoints and identities, and is recognised as a fellow human being with universal rights and responsibilities. So, what does pro-liberal actually mean? Being pro-liberal includes being against illiberalism. There are many forms of illiberalism, and different people can focus on different aspects of it. At Counterweight, we are concerned about the impact of critical social justice on the freedoms of individuals, but we also remain focused on positive liberal goals such as individualism, pluralism, universalism, freedom of belief and speech, viewpoint diversity, tolerance of difference, and the encouragement of the free exchange of ideas to produce knowledge and advance moral progress. As wokeness stands in the way of this, we are anti-woke. But we would not support illiberal forms of anti-wokeness. They do not produce a world that we want to live in. We are anti-woke, but before that, we are pro-liberal.